Alexanderplatz. Finally halfway through this set, and I don't have a better song for this. Of course, it's the same melody every time, so what am I talking about? Let's just get this on. Alright, let's just get this on with. Hello there, CriterioNate here, part 4. We're rolling, part 4, but we're almost done. We're getting there. Part 4 of 411, Rainer Fassbinder's Brill and Alexanderplatz. This is part 4 of us. We're discussing parts 9 through 11 today. And again, now I'm starting to have my doubts about this one, mostly because of part 11, which I'll explain to you. So, where were we? Part 9. Oh, German titles. What are the titles? Titles. Gotta pull up the titles. Part 9. The Loneliness Tier. Oh no, that's number 10. Von den Wiegkittenweichen den Vielen und den Wiegenden. About the eternities between the many and the few. So Franz Bieberkopf. So at the end of part 8, he was talking with Eva about Mieze and her man, and the guy that was writing her the letter. And so Franz goes to spy on Mieze, and he ends up getting some flowers, and they reconcile and all that. And then he goes to the red light district and talks to that pimp. And at some point, I guess he starts calling himself a pimp. I don't really see where and when that really happens, but oh well. Anyway, so he goes to visit Reinhold and shows him his arm stub, and Reinhold's really grossed out, and honestly, I'm grossed out too, seeing that weird, like it was like a end of a salami or something, like the tied up end of a salami. It was just, ugh. So yeah, so when he comes home, he comes back to his apartment. Mieze is shining his shoes, and yeah. So later on, he talks to he goes to the bar, Max's bar, and both Max and Willie criticize Franz, and then he ends up going to a communist rally and being really inspired by the speaker's words. And he goes to Eva and Herbert and tells them what he learned, and they're like, "Come on, it's a bunch of trash, you know." And that's basically part 9. Part 10, Einsamkeit reicht auch in Morgenries den Insens. Loneliness tears cracks of madness even in walls. Part 10, Mieze visits Eva in her apartment, and Eva's got these monkeys. And so Mieze tells Eva that she can't conceive, and she asks Eva, would she be the mother of Franz's child? And Eva agrees, and I guess in return, Eva wants Mieze to try and keep Franz away from Willie and all the politics and stuff like that. And so, and then I forget what happens after that. But Franz ends up getting drunk, and the cop takes him home, and the landlady, whose name I can never remember, and I think Mieze ends up. I honestly don't know how to call it. Let me look up Forbo. I'll call her different names while I'm doing this here. So anyway, Franz is taken care of by them, and in the morning, Mieze tells Franz about the baby. Franz is really upset by this, and it even comes by and tells him everything. So later on, Franz wants to get drunk with Mieze, and he tries to stay out of politics. He tries to say, oh, he won't do it. However, the guy that Mieze has been seeing, who apparently has a hotel for him, room for him, comes by and says, oh, I want to take her out for a couple days. And Mieze hadn't told him this, and so Franz is upset yet again and starts crying, and she leaves with him, and that's how part 10 ends, basically. Here we go. Let's see. Mieze. Okay, that's easy enough. Mieze. I think that's what I was saying at one point. Anyway, part 11. Let's wrap this up. Part 11. Wissen ich mag und Morgenstund hat Gold in Mund. Knowledge is power, and the early bird catches the worm. In this part, the beginning of part 11, Franz visits Reinhold, and asks him if he's, if he can work with Pooms again, because he needs money, I guess. And Franz, Reinhold's a little weary at first because of, everything, because obviously the bank job that resulted in Franz losing his arm. But he does the job, and Bruno comes by while he's with Mieze in his apartment and gives him the money. Mieze's upset by this and wants him to give away the money, wants him to get rid of it because she thinks it's dirty money. And then later on, at one point, Mieze meets Reinhold in the stairwell of the apartment building, and they talk, and so this part was a little unclear to me. I kind of want to rewatch this again, although I kind of don't because of what Mieze does. And so basically what happens is Reinhold goes up to see Franz, and Franz apparently says, oh, he wants to show her how good Mieze is, because I guess Reinhold has his doubts. So he hides Reinhold in his bed, and so Mieze comes by and tells him that she's in love with, I guess, the guy she's been seeing. She's fallen in love with him. She's in love with somebody else. Franz is livid and beats the hell out of Mieze, which I didn't like seeing, but the aftermath, for some reason, Mieze ends up screaming her head off, and I was like, can I mute this? I muted it. I could not stand her screaming like that, and that's probably just like I wanted to give this an A, but that whole scene just really upset me. And if you want to analyze it, be my guest. But that just, I can't stand people screaming like that, especially women who scream just at the top of their lungs. And I'm not going to do it right now because it's the middle of the night, and so so Reinhold, so Franz ends up kneeling on her and trying to get her shoved. Reinhold, by this point, has been witnessing all this, jumps out of the bed and throws Franz out of his apartment and tries to, take care of Mieze, but Mieze wants to go with Franz anyway. And, so anyway, later on, they reconcile. He apologizes. He explains why, he had Reinhold, and so they end up taking a trip. Taking a little vacation. They go to a restaurant and all that, and so, and then they go into the forest and I guess make love or something. Yeah, that's all I got. So anyway, that's all I got for today. That's part 11. We've got 2 more parts in the epilogue, and then of course the disc of supplements, and then we're done. So we're getting there. It wasn't until part 11 when. I'll take an episode of a show that I don't understand versus others over any day, over a episode where I understand what's going on, but there's a really loud, annoying ass woman in it. I'll take that over something any day. So anyway, so just part 11 is automatically the weakest part because of her screaming. Sorry about that. I mean, I can understand, I guess, if you were beat to death by your boyfriend, so, the only thing you could do is probably scream, you're not going to fight back, so that's all I really got that's really all I got for this one. And yeah, so anyway, that's it for me, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the last 2 parts, I guess, of the series. And then Wednesday, we'll do it probably later tomorrow night. And we'll wrap it up sooner than you think. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow for the last couple bits. Anyway, see you later.